Hello guys! Welcome back to my channel. Kung bago ka sa channel na to, I am Za and this is Za Canada. Thank you sa lahat ng mga nag-subscribe sa akin lately at kung hindi pa, mag-subscribe na po kayo. And in my channel, I talk about our experiences here in Canada and different lifestyles of Filipinos here and abroad. Okay? So, ayun. In this video, we are going to talk about the Francophone Mobility Program itself. At kung ito yung nakatulong sa amin para makabalik kami or magkaroon ulit kami ng status dito sa Canada. Paano kami nakabalik as a worker at paano namin ginamit yon para magpatuloy, para makaipon ulit at para syempre masuportahan ang aming pamilya. Okay? So anyway, I've actually mentioned this in my previous video kung kailan ako nag-take ng French, kung kailan ako nag-take ng exam sa French and kung saan I've shared that in my previous video. So kung hindi nyo pa napapanood, you just have to check my channel. Okay? So again, we are going to talk about the Francophone Mobility Program. In this video, sino ba ang pwede makapag-apply dyan? Kailangan ba Canadian citizen ka? Kailangan ba fluent ka? Or kailangan ba nandito ka na sa Canada? Or pwede bang nasa Pilipinas ka? Or kailangan ba ng LMIA bago dyan sa Francophone Mobility Program? So lahat yan sasagutin natin sa video na to sa panoorin hanggang dulo.
From islands to maple leaves, strength of a heart that believes. Goodbye to Manila, hello to the crisp air, taking a risk with a dream and...
Okay, so what is Francophone Mobility Program? Simple lang. So, ito yung pathway kung saan nag-hire ang mga Canadian ng isang foreigner, but LMIA exempt siya para sa mga taong nagsasalita ng French. So, for those employer or for those candidates who speak French. Okay? Pero hindi naman kailangan na yung mismong employer mo ay nagsasalita rin ng French. Hindi yan kailangan. Pero when it comes to Francophone Mobility Program, it is LMIA exempt, which means na hindi kailangang mag-go through dun sa rigorous process ng pagkuha ng LMIA. I've discussed that in my previous video, pero itatouch ko siya ng onting-onti. So, pagkakaiba niya is ang LMIA is you have to post the job. I guess there's a new policy right now na dapat 3 months na pinapost yung job posting. But mag-share ulit ako ng bagong video about dyan sa LMIA na yan. So anyway, in LMIA, the job must be posted for 1 month. And after 1 month, then meron pang mga ibang kailangan. You just have to make a payment for 1,000, I believe, 1,000 for the LMI fee itself. And the employer must submit all of the documents to ESDC. And if ESDC is satisfied with all of these requirements, then that's the time that they're going to give you a positive LMIA, which can be used ng worker para makapag-apply ng work permit to IRCC. Kay IRCC naman, si IRCC naman yung nag-a-assess dun sa empleyado na pwede ba siya dyan? Pwede ba siya dyan sa job na yan? May experience ba siya? Qualified ba siya? May background, may criminal history ba siya or something? Yan ang si IRCC. So anyway, going back to Francophone Mobility Program, hindi mo na kailangan yan. Hindi mo na kailangan si LMIA kasi nga, again, LMIA exempt siya. All you have to do is talk to your employer and ask them to create an account for you. Ito na nga yung tinatawag na employer portal. But for you, as an employee, or for those who are about to apply for the Francophone Mobility Program, sino ba talaga ang qualified? Okay? So, requirement 1, kailangan outside Quebec ka. Okay? So, kung napanood nyo yung previous video ko, sabi mo dapat outside Quebec. Quebec ka nag-aral. Hindi kasali yun. Okay? Which means na dapat yung trabaho mo is outside Quebec. Hindi porket nag-exam ka sa Quebec, hindi ka nakasali sa Francophone Mobility Program. Okay lang yun. Ang importante is, for example, yung job mo is located in British Columbia, Alberta, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Newfoundland, Ontario, ano pa ba? Kung may nakalimutan ko na kung province, pasensya na po. So, yun. Okay? Basta outside Quebec. Okay? And the next requirement is job offer, of course. You need to have a job offer from any of those provinces from an employer, syempre, na willing to hire you. Na willing i-support yung application mo. Okay? Kasi, sila rin yung magpa-process ng requirements. Sila yung magpapasa. Sila yung magbibigay ng mga, for example, ng business license, municipal records, their income, at kung ano-ano pa. Hindi ko alam eh. Kasi nga, I ask my consultant to do everything for me. Okay? When it comes to paperworks like this, I leave it to the expert. Okay? Ayun. So, the next one is French proficiency. I'm sorry, namamalat na ako. So, ito yung mga pinaka-importanting requirement. Kaya nga Francophone eh. Pag sinabing Francophone, which means that you can speak. You can speak French. Okay? Pero hindi naman kailangan talagang speaker ka. Kumbaga hindi ka kailangan fluent na fluent. Hindi kailangan perfect. Okay? Hindi naman kailangan na talagang Pranses ka kung magsalita. Pero kailangan mong maabot yung certain requirement ng program. As of the moment, the current requirement of this program is at least, as of posting this video, okay? At least CLB5 or Canadian Language Benchmark, CLB5 in speaking and listening. Basic. Kumbaga parang basic listening and speaking ng French. Okay? And definitely, dapat genuine yung job offer. Okay? Hindi lang hocus-pocus. Kasi nga, yung job offer na ibibigay sa inyo is something that your employer must upload into that employer portal that I was referring to you a few minutes ago. Yan nga yung kailangan nilang i-create para sa inyo. And as far as I know, before you get that employer-specific number, which you are going to attach into your own application, into your work permit application, merong employer-specific number dyan na normally starts with the letter A with a series of numbers. So, yun. At bago pa nila makuha yan, they need to pay for 230 yata, parang ganyan, 230 Canadian, para makuha nila yung employer-specific numbers. So, pag nakuha mo na yan, then that's the time that you can apply for your own work permit kay IRCC. Okay? So, IRCC check things very, very carefully. Siyempre, kapag hocus-pocus yan at inimbento mo lang yan mga yan, you might be caught for misrepresentation. Okay? So, the next one is eligible yung occupation. There are occupation na hindi pwedeng i-apply for the Francophone Mobility Program. Okay? ang isa sa mga requirement as far as I know, okay, again, as of posting this video, is those people that are working in agriculture. For example, if you're working in a farm, in a, yung sa mga cow, ang tawag doon, yung mga herding, poultry or something, hindi siya kasali. Okay? So, pero marami syempre ang qualified application. Hindi lang healthcare, hindi lang IT, at hindi lang skilled trades. Marami talaga yung application na pwede dito sa Francophone Mobility Program if you were able to satisfy the previous requirements that I have mentioned already. Well, there are common misconceptions when it comes to the Francophone Mobility Program. So the first one is, kailangan fluent ako bago ako makapag-apply dyan sa Francophone Mobility. Hindi ka kailangan maging fluent kasi nga, as I mentioned earlier, you just need to reach CLB5 in speaking and listening. Hindi mo kailangang pansinin yung writing and reading kasi hindi siya kasali as of the moment para dun sa Francophone Mobility Program. Pero syempre, di ba, mas maganda na kung ginalingan mo dun sa iba. Para next time, pag gusto mo namang i-target yung mga ibang competencies, may alam ka na rin. Okay? So, myth 2, automatic na PR na to. Hindi po. Kasi, for PR, you have to reach all of the competencies and mas mataas yung requirement, which is CLB7. Okay? At ano na siya, yung parang high B2 na siya. Okay? Medyo may pagka-fluent na siya. Okay? So, kailangan mong ma-reach yung desired score na CLB7. Kumbaga, nakakapag-hold ka na ng conversation and you should be able to at least speak in French. Well, based on my experience, you'd be able to hold the conversation in French for 3 minutes and 30 seconds spontaneously. Okay? Myth 3, need ko muna pumunta sa Quebec. Again, it's a no. Okay? You don't have to go to Quebec, and in fact, hindi nga siya kasali. Hindi nga siya kasali dun sa Francophone Mobility Program. Kumbaga, the employers must be outside Quebec in order for you to qualify. For example, dito nga sa BC, if you find an employer na makapagbigay sa iyo ng legitimate job offer, and they'll be willing to pay the 230 compliance fee and submit the necessary documents, then you might be eligible for that Francophone Mobility Program. Okay? Again, these are all subject for approval. I'm not an immigration consultant, so if you need legal advice, then you might as well go to a legitimate RCIC or immigration lawyer. Okay? Next one is, kapag marunong ako mag-French, approve na agad. Yan, kasasabi ko lang. French is just one of the requirements, okay? But if you are not qualified for that job itself that you are applying to, then there might be a possibility that it will be denied. Of course, kailangan pa rin yung job na ina-applyan nyo is somehow related to your current work experience or educational background. Kasi tinitingnan pa rin naman ni IRCC kung paano mo magagampanan yung job na ino-offer para sa iyo. Okay? And if you have seen my previous vlog, I have already mentioned that I am one of the living proof na approved under the Francophone Mobility Program, and that's the reason why we are still here in Canada after we have lost our status. Okay? So, yun na nga. Bago tayo matapos, huwag tayo mag-focus sa mga social media post. Hindi porket sinasabi nila na you'll be able to pass your French exam after 1.5 months. O sige na, go na tayo. Okay? Minsan kasi may mga outdated or minsan clickbait. Okay? Minsan hindi nila talaga alam kung ano yung mga pinagsasabi nila para makakuha lang ng mga kliyente. And well, i-share ko lang. There are so much people that are asking me if I submitted a French exam result. Kasi there are people na gusto nila parang proof lang ng learning French yung isisend nila. Na parang nag-aral naman sila noon ng elementary or ng high school or probably ng college ng French. Pwede na ba daw yun? Actually, I don't have an answer on that one. Probably there are people who got approved only submitting these documents. But as far as I know, kailangan mo talagang mag-exam. Okay? Mag-exam ng French just to make sure na talagang nakakapagsalita ka at nakakaintindi ka ng French. Okay? So always check the IRCC requirements as well. Huwag magtakot mag-aral ng French. Lahat nag-i-start sa beginner. Okay? Hindi naman kailangan agad perfect. Hindi ako perfect mag-French. Again, I'm not perfect. Okay? And consistency lang talaga. Okay? So, if you would like to learn more about my French journey at sa mga TCF exam ko. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe into my channel. At sana may natutunan kayo. And that should be it. Laging tatandaan, hindi kailangan maraming pera, basta may peace of mind. Thank you for watching. Until next time. Bye-bye.
My rhythm in this glorious land.